Hi guys, welcome back to the Immigrant Story. So good to know we still have you with us. And as always, thank you for your continuous subscription to our page. Like I told you last week, we've got like multiple episodes coming in back to back, and today is another great one. Please, try to always share, try to comment, try to, subscribe if you haven't, because this is very important. We're doing something great and we want quite a lot of people to see this as well. So leave a comment, leave a feedback. Let us know what you want to see on the platform. Let us know whose story you want to hear on the platform. We'll gladly try as much as possible. That's one thing we're going to promise you, to get those people on this platform so you listen and hear their story and possibly learn from them. So today I've got a very wonderful lady who is coming to share her story from Ghana to UK. So I'm going to hold the name back till she jump on the platform. So guys, in the next 6 seconds, we're going to welcome the one and only Christabel. So see you. Hi guys, welcome. And I'm going to do like a drum roll. I told you that we've got a wonderful lady who's joined us today to share a story from Ghana to the UK. And we just want to understand how the journey has been for her so far, and the ups, the low, the triumph, the good moment, the bad moment, and everything she's learned in between. So with no further ado, drum roll. Let's welcome the one and only Christabel.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. See, guys, she did something really beautiful this morning. She came out with ready. That's about, when she was checking the Google map yesterday, she said 4 hours. I was like, okay, are you ready to pay that sacrifice on the Immigrant Story? But yeah, she is today, and I'm so happy, and I'm grateful as well. Not just because we're on camera, but I'm really thankful for you making our time to attend and just, share your journey with us. I really believe your journey is an inspiring one, and people definitely going to learn from it in one way or the other, and possibly connect with you after this. So, thank you so much once again. So just quickly, I just want you to do like a brief introduction of yourself, and let this beautiful audience know this lady. And just tell us something about you.
Okay, great. My name is Christabel Ofori-Atta.
Okay.
I'm Ghanaian. And I'm an engineer. I think one of the things that I'd say about myself is I'm a fun-loving person. Don't you think so?
I know. I think shit.
Yeah, but so I currently work with Energy Systems Catapult. Shout out to them. Even though my background is in engineering, specifically petrochemical, I'm currently working as a energy data analyst with the Catapult. So, professional, that's me. But then, personally, I like to describe myself as an ambitious, forward-thinking, open-minded, creative, everything that I would say in an interview to get me the job. So, every good thing. Yeah, it's right.
Yeah, that's a nice. And trust me, Christmas has got a very loving personality, a bubbly one, I would say. I don't think there's ever going to be a dull moment with Christabel. This is the first time I'm seeing her in person.
Yeah.
Always communicate via Teams and all of that, but just seeing her for the first time when she's, all for body plates, I'm like, okay, I think I love this person. But yeah, thank you so much for that very brief introduction. So now we're going to be jumping into the stories, rather the questions about. We're going to be jumping into the questions where I believe all of these questions will give us a good understanding of your journey so far. And I'm going to start with one. So my first question is, how would you describe Christabel? And I'm giving you an expo of yourself. I'm saying you're a bubbly person, but I believe there's more to that. So how would you describe Christabel?
I think Christabel is an epitome of small girl, big God. Yeah, I mean, I've come through life, come through that journey, and one thing is I always give all the thanks to God for how far I've come. I already mentioned that I'm an engineer, right? So I'm a very resilient person. I'm committed to, especially to empowering, next generation, be people, technology, anything that has to do with that, and with sustainability. You can count me there. What else? Personality, I've already said so I'm just gonna put. I just like to keep it short, but yeah, I'm just a lovely person.
That's really good to know. I know she's very time conscious. But yeah, thank you so much, Christabel. So we want to understand the genesis of the story. So tell us about your early life in Ghana. I've always wanted to visit Ghana. I've not just had the opportunity. So fingers crossed.
December, I feel thinking.
Y'all never said that. I know we'll see how that goes.
That's a conversion.
Let's go back to the genesis. So talk us through your early life, Ghana.
When I was born,
before you started thinking about, I need to go somewhere, I need to go that. So tell us about that.
Okay. So I've lived most of my life in Accra, but I did go away from Accra to other regions for school, both for high school and VA. So pretty much started with, I went to the best schools in Ghana. I strive to be in the best schools in Ghana, and I'm saying this proudly because it is a feat. People don't get the opportunity or create the opportunity, but I'm so proud that I was able to strive hard for that. So I went to Western Girls High School. Shout out to them. Then of course, I'm sure people know Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. It's quite popular, one of the best schools in Africa, maybe even in the world. But yeah, so that's why I did Petrochemical Engineering for my undergrad. And then I worked a bit in Ghana. I did what we call national service. You guys,
yeah, we're not sure that the thing is, we said like the government for one, something like that.
Yeah, so I did that with Halliburton, and then I think it was after that my immigration journey began. Yeah.
So I think it's time to move. It's time to go make input somewhere.
Yeah, but I think immigration started for me because I moved from Ghana to Nigeria for work in 3 years. So I worked with Schlumberger.
Okay.
In Nigeria, in Port Harcourt. For 2 years, from 2019 to 2021. Before I left for my master's here in the UK.
I was going to say waiting for Taco because that was why I did my NYC.
Oh, okay.
And Port Harcourt stopped. I remember 2018 to 2019.
So was there a room or something?
I was around, so my PPA was in remote fire.
Okay.
Then I was around the people friends. I still remember, I love Port Harcourt. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though, when I was first going, everyone was like, oh, it's Port Harcourt. Those security risks that people are on these lanes.
Yeah.
Yes, but me, hard girl, said I'll do it. And I went and I thoroughly had like a good time working there.
Yeah. That's really beautiful. I never really, since speaking, I never knew that you lived in Nigeria for 3 years. But yeah, no wonder you got the vibes.
To spice up Nigeria in the back.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you there. You got it from Ghana. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So I understand that you had the master's degree from Imperial College London in sustainable energy futures. So tell us about that. What led to you getting into Imperial? Was that okay? You thinking about it's time to move to a different country? I think that the best platform on the least for me to make this journey or this transition is getting a scholarship or maybe getting into UA basically what majority of us do. But was your step friend in any way?
So the funny thing is, I never planned to move out of Ghana. Like I didn't plan to immigrate at any point because I love my country's peaceful. It's fun, and that's if you have money. And then I was working, so so I was, I was on my own, no other responsibility, so life was okay. But then, as life did for everyone, COVID happened, and then the world came to a standstill. And I'd already been planning to do my master's, but the question was when. And so COVID came, and then I was home. I was like, yeah, what am I doing here? Like, why don't I now maybe there's an opportunity to just focus on, stepping up. So that's when I started applying to schools. And then, so I applied to both schools in the UK and the US.
Okay.
And even France. Yeah, because, I went to the Parisian Japan and said, that was Norway.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, so I got into the schools, but then it was down to Imperial College, Carnegie Mellon in the US. And then, I don't remember the French school, but then I was, but, so Imperial, in terms of the process, it was actually, I didn't have to do I just applied. There was no interview process from my course.
Yeah.
You just put in your application, and then you're good enough, you're a good candidate.
Yeah.
Then I got the email. I was so excited, and then I had to think about deposits. Yeah, some deposits.
Mm-hmm.
Such good.
It's massive.
Yeah, yeah. The piece I'm going to talk about deposits. And so that's when I went crying to my family members. It got money from my sister, my mom, my dad, everybody pitching.
Yeah.
I am the future. I didn't know that it was
strong, right?
Yeah, so thankfully my family was very supportive. God helped me in that, so got me into Imperial, and then now I had to think about fees. And that's when I applied to the Ghana Education Trust Fund.
Yeah.
They offer scholarships for brilliant, needy students.
It's the way she's soaring and so playing some okay.
Yeah. And so and thankfully I got that as well, and that's propelled everything, got me to the UK. And yeah, pretty much.
That's a very good one. And saying the fact that you were able to I make a family series, why does she give me that much money? But at the end of the day, the result is obvious in terms of you working with Energy Systems Catapult, being like a senior energy analyst there, and it's obvious that all of this hard work they paid up. So well done to yourself and congratulations. So just moving forward, basically, I understand that during the course of your journey, you worked with companies like Rolls-Royce, you worked with Ep10, and now you're working with Energy Systems Catapult. So how did you navigate, entering and, excelling in this highly technical or predominantly white and male-dominated role? Like, how did you get in there? Is it because you're brilliant and then you just just touch it in the situation?
Okay. So you have to be careful about the needy parts, because remember, I'd been working, right? So I'd save them. Right? I wasn't needy like that, and then obviously I couldn't pay those things. It was a lot. But anyway, coming back to the question. So I think when people say, and they're right in saying it's white, male-dominated and everything, but I think for me, my mindset was different in the sense that I'm glad I grew up in Ghana, because then I didn't know race.
Okay. So
I didn't know whites, or I did. I could see them, but it wasn't. I didn't grow up with that, mentality or, categories of people of color. So, I mean, I see them as colleagues, as just people I work with.
Yeah.
And then, male-dominated. Growing up, I was a tomboy. I still am a goodness, but I learned how to relate with like Middle East, like from early on. So again, I just took up them as people I work with, and I get along with everyone, male, female. So that's race, gender. I didn't really see that.
Yeah.
But you get it, and then something I got into after interviews and all of that, and just I think for me it was just making yourself visible wherever you find yourself, right? So visible, stand out, and do your work to the best of your ability, where someone will see like the good work you're doing and will can clearly recognize your work and your success. So that kind of mentality is what drives me even in that field. And one thing also is, I mean, I'm Christian, right? So I see also work as manifesting God's glory. Like, if I'm working hard, I'm doing my best, I'm doing everything as I should, then it gets glory, good, right? So, I'm just a vessel, showing the excellence of God wherever I find myself.
That's a beautiful one. I'm just a vessel showing the excellence of God wherever I find myself. I'm gonna take that away. She just preached this. But just going back to what you said, the mentality, it's very important because at the end of the day, what we think and how we think that shapes us and minds. That's the way it limits your mind, the way it limits your interaction and the possibility you hold. So mindset and mentality is very important, especially in an environment like, where you find yourself today. But thank you very much for taking us through the journey. My next question is basically going to be, so how did you show up authentically as a Black African woman in UK and police in space? I'm laughing because I said a Black African woman in the UK and engineering in space. So tell us about the tension in the process. Tell us about how you triumph and what has defined your experience and what has actually stand up for you.
Okay. In the first few weeks, I started to work at my new last at the Catapult. We had Black History Month.
So that
right, and then usually I'm not one to shy away from presenting or doing something, just getting involved in these work-related celebrations and all. But then I was like, rather than do something generic that doesn't necessarily
define or the whole experience.
Exactly. Let me do something that spoke to me as a person, my origins, my background. And so I've been working on a poem for a number of years, but that poem never got finished. Until Black History Month, until the celebration at work, and then I said, okay, I'll finish this poem. And it was a poem that talked about Africa and our history, and how our history connects to the future, and how Africa has contributed to the world as a whole, what the world is now. And so I presented that at work. That's me showing up, unapologetic about my origins, and it went viral within our internally. It did go viral. The communications department approached me. They wanted to put it up on the companies, social media pages and so that, I guess that's one way that I stood out, or I, came out as a Black African.
Yeah.
Not even about Black, just being,
Africa representing.
Yeah. Just presenting, making sure my culture, my origins were heard, and a lot of people were blown away, right? And so that also, I know, reminds me that wherever I am, it's not to shun my culture or just make myself small to fit.
No.
But show who I am, and not to code switch a lot. And code switch, people, when they are with white people, then they change how they speak their accents. I don't. My accent from Ghana, I don't have a particularly distinct Ghanaian accent.
Yeah.
So people think I code switch, but I've been talking like this before I came to the UK.
Yeah.
But regardless, wherever I am, just remind people that I'm African. I mean, color-wise, they see it. It's so glaring. But then also, in meetings and conversations, if there's an opportunity to, bring a topic that affects Africa. Maybe we're talking about economies, we're talking about global economies, we're talking about development, to not just focus on the Western world. I pitch in where Africa could contribute or could benefit from.
Yeah.
And then, it just, keeps people on their toes. There's a core African in our midst.
Yeah, that's really great. Every opportunity you get, you tend to propagate Africa out there. You get to pause in the spotlight. And I think I saw that point when Nate, so this guy, you can be paused saying that. It can be this crazy, right? Okay. Well, that's a good one. Who would have thought that would go viral? Usually without visibility, you spoke about visibility earlier, something like that, has garnered so much visibility for you. And trust me, when such opportunity comes again, they're not going to even go search for people. They're like, okay, I think Christabel is going to be the best fit for this. Yeah. So, thank you for sharing. So visibility is very important as well. And as you can hear, or as you can hear from what she has said, is one thing that actually is one way she put out her authentic self in the workplace. So, just moving forward, I know you've been very vocal about empowerment and, stuff like that, empowering the next generation, especially Black women in energy and tech. And I know you're involved in, editors back as well, helping to propagate their mission in terms of, getting Black individuals to be more representative within the energy space. So my question is, what do you think needs to, shift systematically to open more doors and opportunity for people people of color in the sector? You are in the sector, so from your experiences and immigrants, tell us.
Okay. Well, for one, coming back to mindset again, I think the opportunities are maybe not as abundant as they should be, but they're there. They're growing.
Yeah.
And so now it's not down to us to push through those doors. So first, especially for women or young girls, is a mindset change. We've come, should I say this? But we've come a very long way where men will go to school and women will be in the kitchen. Right. We've come a very long way from that.
Yeah.
And that mindset change, evolved over, decades. And now I think we're still at a point where girls, I talked to a number of girls and women, and a lot of them are still do shy away from STEM.
Yeah.
Largely because the community they go out with, there are these comments that, hey, you want to do engineering, hey, you want to become a doctor, or you want to do science-related stuff. But and they expect you to be very smart in order to attain that. But I think the mindset of you can do anything you want to do if you say your mind to it, that kind of mindset change has to happen so you can, break down those barriers and push through those doors. And for immigrants, both men and women, especially Black people, think about it, we have so much to offer, and wherever we find ourselves, we can do more than we are supposed to do, right? So when you get it, open the door for the next person. Don't shut it. And don't shut that door. And there's so many ways you can shut that door, because sometimes it can be territorial and you want to, I got in this, and I don't want to be sad or quick, so I will do everything just keep, but leave the door open for the next person so we can get more and more, Black, excellence in STEM, in the workplace, in the marketplace, globally, everywhere. Yeah.
That's really good to hear. I think it's going back to you just, emphasizing or shedding more light in the point of mentality as a whole. I think everything begins from your mentality.
Yep.
How are you seeing the possibility of something happening? And you're speaking about we not gatekeeping and, not shutting the door. I think it's going to be like a good medium for we to get more representation on that space.
Yep.
And I think I don't know if it's me or it applies to anyone, but there's this comfort and feeling at home I see when I see like my brother. It's so cool. Like guy,
I totally agree. And I think and it's an advantage that we tend to click and bond together. So at the workplace, you see and then something I feel like, are we alienated and other colleagues? But like there's that community and belonging. When
it is so easy. Yeah, that is so easy. But cool. That's really good to know. I think we're speaking for some time now, and I want to understand the pivotal roles, community, mentorship. Speaking of gatekeeping, mentors can be like an avenue you getting into some space. So I want to understand the role that all of those has played in your journey, and what advice would you give to people who are not leveraging the space right now?
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to say shout out to maybe 4 people. One, my mom. My mom be using me like crazy. How do you guys think? She carries me to the head. Sometimes when I don't be myself, I mean, she's the one to, you can do it.
Yeah.
You're built for this. You're good, global, and everything. I like, still here, I call it. So, in terms of a motivation mentor figure in my life, I think my mom has played the biggest role in that. Then, funny enough, the 2 I'm going to mention are like Nigerians. I'm saying Nigerians, but they're like Schlumberger, and this is like, and I do, just a lot. But I think these ones, why I mentioned them, one is called Oluboyega Olorisho.
Okay.
While working in Schlumberger, he was a manager there, and I've gone to him for advice on different things. I remember, even when I was moving from Halliburton to Schlumberger, I went to him, asked him, is this a good idea? Or how do I navigate, everything? And he gave me such brilliant advice and encouragement that I'm never going to forget him. And, the role as a figure that he played in my life. And the second person was my supervisor on the job.
Yeah.
I call him Alaji. He is Ibrahim Madinin.
Okay.
Yeah, and when I was leaving for school, I mean, I had a conversation with him, and again, he's like, if this is what you wanted to do it, don't let this job, you're earning or you're, you're making a life here, but there's more to be done.
Yeah.
There are so many things to do. And rather than stay in one place, you need to move, you need to be more exposed. So he was one of, the contributing factors to my move. And I also see him as a mentor and a figure. And so mentors are there to play different roles, to advise, encourage, to protect. And there are different people that give you different types of mentorship styles that stay. So in terms of leveraging it, oh, I forgot one. I said Forex. Sorry.
Yeah.
So there's this lady, Marvin Azeta. She, I saw her sort of rise through the ranks, very solid in energy. She also did the course I did at Imperial. So people think that I followed her as but not necessarily, because I applied to Imperial before I realized that, she also went to Imperial to do the same course that I did. But she was also someone that eventually I looked up to. And funny enough, at Imperial, they do, you get connected to a mentor. And I got connected to her, and I said, funny, was like, wow, what's happening?
Yeah. And that was a learning.
Yeah. I had several conversations with her. We talked about energy, career, and anything that I remember one time I texted her that I'm overwhelmed with a lot of things. I just need someone to talk to, to guide me. And then she was like, yeah, sure. We had a conversation, and I was like, ooh, this has been great. And I remember dreaming about it that I talked to her. So I was like, yeah, this is the line, this is them. So yeah. And so in terms of leveraging mentorship is a very important part of life that everyone needs to utilize. You personally, I believe that with or without mentors, if you want to get somewhere with your hard work, with the right connections, the right networks, you can still get there. But mentors can propel you faster, because maybe there are some steps that you may not need to take, but having a mentor helps you, go in a different direction that would get you to where you want to go faster.
Yeah.
But so I'd advise everyone to leverage that. Get someone that maybe in your space or not, but so long as you have someone motivating you, that's amazing. And you have someone as a guide with your back and your front.
It's amazing to get that, the number one person on your ranking is from your household.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, and there's nothing like someone in your household believing in you first before someone outside sees the possibility in you as well. So shout out to mommy as well. It's beautiful to hear that everyone who's been on the platform emphasizing the need of mentorship, emphasizing the need of community. That's it's been a plus to their journey. It's not something they can detach from their story as an immigrant. So it's so great to hear. And I think if someone is not leveraging on that, it could be like this could be the nudge you actually need to jump on that space. But yeah, thank you so much. And it's so beautiful to know that someone you always look up from afar happens to be someone you easily text. You just have a conversation. It's not like you're like, is this real? It is something. But yeah, of course, so great. So yeah, I know the journey has been sounding so rosy for me. I said, but the next question is going to be, so in your own words, I don't know what I'm saying in your words, what has been was the toughest moment for you as an immigrant in your journey or your story so far? If you do a 1, 2, 3 second reflection, how you've been in the UK since the year 2022 or 2023, what has been the toughest moment for you, and what was the step you took to triumph and go through that phase?
Okay. So I think for me, it has to do with adjustments and also a reminder that, the competition is tight up. Because brilliant people are coming from everywhere, and we're all aiming for the same role, the same positions. Competition is tight. So first with adjustments, I remember when I first came, I struggled in the first few weeks in my master's, and I wondered why. Because I thought that I'm smart. So why am I struggling? And I think I'd been out of academia for a while, and I'd been working. So that adjustment had to happen. That going back to school mentality and just physically just getting right back in that phase had to happen. And then also, then thankfully I finished. I finished school, and then now looking for a job, and then that comes to where, the competition is tight because you're applying for jobs, you get to rejections. I'm sure everyone has to deal with rejections. I didn't know a single person who got a yes or an acceptance on their first application. That'd be crazy. Why you So going to that phase. So I ended up at Alton, and so the project I was working on at Alton was for Rolls-Royce, and that's why I ended up working for Rolls-Royce as well.
Okay.
Because of that project. And then I worked as a project manager, and I did not have any qualification in project management. I remember you mentioned. But again, as someone who likes to be visible, stand out, and if I can, I don't want to say I can con and deceive. No, I can no, but yourself and just things. As you can do the job. So yes, I can do the job without any qualification. But first for me it was an opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
And then secondly, project management, I felt like in everyday life, in a small way, you manage one thing or the other. You only master your life and moves project management, right? So then, while doing the job, I was also applying myself. I was, learning, studied. I actually did Google Project Management course. When the next one's called. Yeah, then that. And then after I was like, actually, I did Coursera. So now they're asking for sensitive. I can. But it's just, I didn't have the qualification, but I put, all my other skills coming together.
Yeah.
Just transferring them onto the job helped me through it. And so, and then remember, that wasn't exactly, I don't want to say, but that wasn't exactly my dream job.
Yeah.
At the time, I'm like, you can finish that paper. I did sustainable energy futures at Imperial, so I expected that after, I'm going straight into the UK energy industry.
Yeah.
I'm going to, make moves, contribute massively.
Yeah.
And I was in aerospace. Doing project management and aerospace projects, and so it's just that was quite but I for me I'm so glad that I was able to do the job as diligently. And even when I was leaving, I got good recommendations, really excellent recommendations, surprising ones actually, from my managers, and that also. And then I finally ended up at Energy Systems Catapult, where I work now. And
that's interesting to hear your type of toughness. Different stories, different journey, different expectations, but it's good to know that you you accepted the challenge even when you know you were not like having all the armors or the arsenals to get into a delivery phase.
Yeah.
But it's you open yourself to learning in the process and getting there to like deliver. Even you met expectation. It's cool with yeah, that's still the expectation. Even with that going road arsenals, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good one. That's I think it's a mindset thing again. Just going with the possibility of you can and I think that's going to be like the highlight of this interview. Your mindset, a mindset shift, and then it's, you know, having the right thoughts, the right belief, and the possibilities, and the right circle, community, mentorship as well. Can be very important in your journey as an immigrant, or maybe not even as an individual.
Yeah.
You get so. I want to take you back to a word or a statement you made. So you said something. You said you once said that there are people out there with half your talents claiming victories. And there's those research. You know, like, okay, so what internal battles did you overcome to own your space? I think from a way I can answer the question from your project management experience. Yeah. We said Rolls-Royce. Yeah. But let me get the platform.
Internal battles. Yeah, okay. So I really want to, you know, sing that old song of
we're wanting, yeah.
Imposter syndrome.
Okay.
Right. But I actually did, you know, I mean, sometimes it creeps up here and there a few times, you know, where you can do the job, but then you're wondering, am I even qualified for it? And exactly, I mean, thinking about it, especially working with Alternate, so I didn't have the qualification for it. So sometimes I would doubt myself or will ask questions about, like, what I do this, you know. We don't discuss myself or fuck my Jewish people not done for it. But in terms of again, somehow I don't know, like I said, my mentality is so strong that regardless, I'm like, I'm gonna do this thing. I can do it. And so but not just, you know, blindly saying that, but also, you know, getting the resources, the tools, like applying myself. If I had to go and learn project management, for example, get that in my arsenal, in my belt. The connections or the networks that I had to build in order to succeed in that role or wherever, making sure that I knew who to go to, where to get this from. And eventually, people didn't even know that. Sometimes I approach people and they think I'm, like, I manage the department or something. They come to me with and I'm like, I'm still a small girl. I'm just MPN. I'm managing one project, not a portfolio. I was actually managing 3 or 4 projects. But it wasn't, I wasn't managing the department, right? But it's, yeah, so.
That's, like I said, it's going to be the highlights of this interview, it's mindset. I think someone said, for every battle we fight externally, we must have conquered it internally, which is having the right mindset. But yeah, thank you so much. I think I really enjoyed this conversation. I think it's an avenue to get to know the other side of you. Okay. I'm always in the box side and I was having one side. But
I'm very serious. I will do watch.
So we'll gradually come into the end of this interview. I still got like 2 more sections to touch in terms of question wise, but it's just going to be quick. So my next question is going to be, there's something I always like doing. I always like to ask my guests, for everyone who comes on the show, which is my guest, what advice would they, give to immigrants were just like coming into the country or were within the same space and, want to navigate, find the barriers and, just at the end of the meeting your goal. I think to some extent everyone's goal is to just find a balance between life and work as well. Might not be everyone's goal, but to some majorities in that. So from your experience as an immigrant living in the UK and from your experience as a professional working in, a global space, what advice would you give?
Oh. Okay. I mean, working in the UK sometimes can be overwhelming, but thankfully there's flexible working. So personally, what I think has worked for me is be intentional about what you want and what you want to do. And I'm saying this because for me, I think I'm a versatile person. I'm interested in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so, a battle with narrowing it down to, okay, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Right. So, focus on, when you're intentional about what you want to do, you can focus and build all with one or two things. They may not be in order. I mean, they may not happen simultaneously. You need to build one so you can have the cash to build the second one, right? I think people come here and they want to do a lot of things to make ends meet, or and sometimes needed to survive, especially, in the first few stages, first few weeks, years, months, where, you have to survive, basically. But once you get to a certain stage, be intentional about what you want to do. Focus on one or two things and work towards that, like hammer them.
Yeah.
So for me, I knew I wanted to be in the energy space. So I kept, applying. I remember I did this thing, called it a September retreat.
Okay.
I went off social media. And all I did was, okay, I wanted to train myself to, have a routine in the sense that I'm interested in energy.
Yeah.
I have to be equipped. I should be able to read energy news day.
Yeah.
To be interested in things energy related, to read the news day, be up to date on what's happening. So that when there are conversations, I have something to say. And what I'm saying is not nonsense. It's actually something that's happening. It can be verified, ground verified, all of that. So I dedicated time to that one thing. And I was intentional about it. And then once that came, now as a routine, I'm able to, anywhere I find myself, really bring up something energy related. I have something to say. Right.
Yeah.
And then now with that in my belt, I can build something else. Like I said, I'm interested in a lot of things.
Yeah.
This is real estate. I can have and do real estate. But not to, everything is messy.
Yeah.
No focus, basically. That's when you're trying to understand that it's not working, get frustrated. And there are lots of frustrated people here, frustrated immigrants. Some partly not their fault, but honestly, I'm just focused on the speed. Rather than try to spend your money in various pots and the pots vanish.
Yeah, that's the thing with the pot vanishing. I get the message, but I get the message. It's very important. We think most times when people try and multiple things is actually also trying to see where they can find a balance. But then again, let the end point be where you can set to. I know there's trying multiple things on ending. Because at the end of the day, it's not like eating half apple all about over again. We can consume in a whole, which becomes a problem. In as much as, like you said, you are a versatile person, but then you you try to specialize in one, that come rain or sun, you can talk about that when the heat arises. But that's all you're neglecting. It's like the way you apportion time is not different.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I think second to last question is going to be, what do you wish? Because, we always have wishes. I wish I knew this when I was 12. I wish I knew this when I was 14. I felt it. I don't know why I always find it funny when people say that. I wish I knew this when I was 2. I'm 22 now and stuff like that. But
22.
Okay, and say, the question is, what do you wish someone told you before you started your journey, or what do you wish you knew before you started your journey?
Okay. So why this is particularly hard for me to answer, because I did my research.
Okay.
I went to people, what do I need to know? How do I survive in this UK, or like where I'm going to? But I think one thing that I wish people had hammered on was don't make yourself small in order to conform, because you are in a new country. When in Rome, do what the Romans do, right? But then you become like every other person. What is so special about you? More, right? So maybe it's also my personality where, not intentionally to stand out, but I want to do my best wherever I am.
Yeah.
Right. So I just wish people had hammered on the fact that do not make yourself small wherever you find yourself, because you are in a country where you are the minority.
Yeah. So
there should be something special about you that's maybe somehow can take a chance on. Right. So then if you make yourself small and just become like any other person, then who? I want to say what was funny. Who's gonna be you? Who discovered it? Who will be you?
Yeah. Yes.
So, and I say this with my current job.
Yeah.
Even though I was not in anything energy at the time, because I was working on aerospace credits, but I was still posting about energy stuff. I was still, trying to find work, not entirely, just still dedicated to it. And then someone contacted me that there's this job, and I see that you did your master's in this. It seems like your interests really align with this. Are you interested in this job? Just like that. So now, it was a senior role.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, senior role. No expectation.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like I'm like a junior analyst.
Yeah.
I can, be laid back and learn the ropes. But this is where I still have to learn the ropes and also be expected to, contribute more.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess, once I caught that, don't make yourself small. Always, whenever you can, distinguish yourself from others, so that you come and discover for this.
That's true. I think I saw, there was a picture I saw one time. So we've got, like, in the picture, we've got multiple umbrellas. And all of the umbrellas except one are white. Then the one umbrella that's not white is red. You could easily spot the difference.
Yeah.
So it just goes back to when you're trying to conform, become uniform like with your others.
Yes.
But when you try to distinguish yourself, you can be easily singled out. I don't know why that whole thing just came.
Yeah, lost your part.
I don't know how that whole thing just came to my mind. But yeah, I get the message too. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Oh, but yeah, so this is the first time I'm going to be doing this, the icebreaker session. I've never done it before on that show, and it's going to be great to test what I'm going to test warm foods just in case nothing. I'm not going to do it in that session, but it's nothing serious. It's a fun way of ending the show. Don't worry on the serious stuff now. Okay, so don't worry about so much. So we're just gonna, in the next 3 minutes, just a very quick icebreaker session. I think it's just a way to maybe know you better in a way. So for our icebreaker, 3 simple questions, so straightforward. So the first question is, say something beautiful in your mother tongue. I know you've done it. I love it, especially when they say Chage and so say something beautiful in your mother tongue, but don't insult me. But then shit, there you're gonna translate it. Oh, if you insult me, I'll translate it to something good. I'm gonna have to do at the back of the show. I'll go and find you. That's it. So
let's go. Apart from me, do you have any like the earphones?
Yeah,
so like there's somewhere side.
And then we shout, the Guinness Bros.
Okay,
so yeah.
Okay. I think one of the simplest things that I can say is way of so.
Way of so.
Way of fit.
Way of fit.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It gets.
I love your show.
No, Linux. Okay, so Omoya says you are beautiful, or maybe for a guy, or you're handsome.
Oh,
yeah.
So I'm handsome.
I'm just saying, look at that. Yes, you are.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just saying this.
Alright, so, oh yeah, okay.
Omoya fit.
Omoya fit. I'll go tell the girl. Okay.
We're going to the girl and Ohima Omoya sick.
Ohima Omoya sick. What are they Ohima mean?
Ohima is like queen.
Oh, queen.
Yeah. You actually already had the music.
Yeah.
First people like please.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. Ohima Omoya sick.
Yeah.
I'm learning something new. Yeah, thank you.
Don't forget.
No, I won't. Oh, it's a very good line to tell me something. I'll forget it. I'm joking.
Alright, everybody.
Okay, now we're gonna do another one. It's called Two Truths and More Immigration. So it's similar to Two Truths and a Lie.
Okay.
So you're gonna say 2 truths and a lie. So you're making 3 statements. From 2 is true and 1 is a lie. So I'm gonna guess which is the lie. So let's go.
I guess I'll say to the straight face and you'll know which one.
Okay.
So first one. I have a crush on Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay.
Second one. My middle name is Amma.
Okay.
Third one. My favorite sport to play is basketball.
So I know your favorite sport is basketball.
Oh,
that's one. So that's true.
okay.
I guess Kevin De Bruyne is a basketballer.
No.
Okay, it's not.
Wow. Do you watch football?
Okay, it's not. So your middle name is Amma. You love basketball, and Fexton is a lie.
Oh. That's so wrong. My middle name is Akosia, and that's Sunday born.
I was gonna say it because I couldn't.
Yeah, so I actually have a crush on Kevin De Bruyne. He plays for Manchester City. Oh, I think he's leaving now, but he's a footballer.
Maybe I need to start watching football. So I watch occasionally.
Okay.
So maybe that's the reason. Okay, now the last one, while we wrap up. So what is one dish from your culture that anyone must try? I'm gonna go try it, so it needs to be nice. So
it needs to be nice. No, so my favorite dish is fufu and groundnut soup. That's like peanuts, butter soup.
Yeah, I've had groundnut soup, yeah.
And Ghanaian fufu is different from Nigerian fufu.
Okay.
Right, so that's my favorite. But I think I think what you can try. I haven't tried watching before.
No.
Watching.
No. It's not just me, that everyone.
Oh,
You should try.
please go and try watching. It is. I think it's like rice and beans. Why I say it's like, I know definitely that it is rice and beans, but we cook it in a different way. So there's this like brown colored rice and beans together, and it's just superb. Go and try watching.
We'll watch it. I'm coming for you.
Try watching.
Oh, I'm so pretty step nothing. But yeah, thank you so much, Christabel. We've actually come to the end of this shit. It's been a fantastic and interesting moment in time shared with you. It's so beautiful to get your journey and to see how your mentality and power resilience has played quite a lot in your journey so far. Looking forward to the great days coming out of your space. By your corner cheering you up as well. And looking forward to those genie vibes, more genie vibes. Well, yeah, guys, thank you so much. I've actually come to the end of the Immigrant Story with Christabel today. As I said earlier on, just leave a comment, leave a feedback for who you want to be, who you want us to bring on the show, and whose story you want to get. And I promise you that's something we're going to work on because, like I said, we're here because of you. So, guys, subscribe, share, comment, tag us. You can just watch this. Something is really interesting to you. Just come that out, put it on Instagram or any of the social platform and tag us. We're gonna, respond to that. But this is me actually signing off. I don't know if you've got any last word for the people.
That stories. So thank you very much for having me on this show. And just like you will say, subscribe, like, comment. This is Immigrant Story. The story is a story.
Immigrant Story.
Immigrant Story. So this is Immigrant Story, and doing a fantastic job, getting those stories out there. There's so much more that needs to go out there. So it's a lovely thing you're doing, and just as you're supporting me, you're going to receive double support from me.
Thank you very much. Just before we leave, who would you want or like to see on the show as well?
Can't guess Stephen Basley.
Steven, we're coming for you. Alright, guys. If you want to connect with Christabel, we're going to leave the social media handles so you can reach out to her and just have a more personal conversation if needed or when the need arises. But yeah, cheers, guys. I'll see you on this episode. Samuel, Christabel. Bye for now.
Thank you.